Hey there, this is Chris Rukov for RukovGrind, and kudos to you for scheduling your first coaching session with me. This video is just a quick tutorial or a guide of how our first session should go and what things do we need to know before we actually start with the session. The way to improve in poker is to know more than your opponent, and to know more than your opponent you need to learn more, so congratulations for taking that step into your poker career. Now, the important stuff. What do you need to have? Computer. We're gonna need a computer if you do any type of hand review or sweat session or range analysis. Sweat session is when you play, I watch you, and we discuss in real time. Now sometimes I have players who play live poker, and for them we do not use a computer for the most part. We just have a Skype call or a phone call and we discuss certain theories and certain situations on the phone. So if you're one of the live poker players, you don't really need a computer unless you want to. It's just optional if we're going to do some range analysis. Obviously you need internet, you need a microphone, and Skype or TeamViewer. Make sure if we use TeamViewer, it's the updated last version. You can go to update. You can check if your TeamViewer is the last version when you go to the About tab and you click check updates. Make sure you're ready with all the necessary things for the session so we don't waste unnecessary time. It is your time and you're paying for it, so make sure you don't waste it, guys. Okay, be sharp. If we agree on 5 p.m., I'll be available usually 50 minutes prior to that. Most of the time, the session do not last exactly 60 minutes. Sometimes it's 65, sometimes it's 70 minutes. All of that is on my expense. There's no extra charge for you. But sometimes I have other sessions after yours, or I have other things to do and other things to attend, and I cannot take the responsibility. So if you're 10 minutes late and you count 5:10 instead of 5, please understand that I cannot take responsibility for those 10 minutes because sometimes I might not be able to. So basically, if our coaching session is scheduled at 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. and you come at 5:15, we're still scheduled until 6 p.m. That 15 minutes is on your expense. Just be sharp and everybody's going to be happy. Let's respect each other's time, guys. Now, sometimes poo-poo happens and you can't make it. If you tell me 3 hours or more before the scheduled time, we're gonna reschedule the session. Let's say it's 1 p.m. and you tell me that you cannot attend in our 5 o'clock session, we're gonna reschedule it. If you, however, tell me less than 3 hours before the starting time that you cannot make it, then the session is gonna be forfeit. I schedule my day around my coaching hours, and unfortunately, if you cannot make it and you cannot alert me on time, I think it's fair to count it as forfeited. But if you decide to schedule another session, then I'll give you 50% off for that other session that you schedule. Same rules apply if you schedule a session at 5 p.m. That's just the example I'm going with. And you don't show up. I'm gonna be waiting there until 5:30, and if at 5:30 you're not there, I consider the session forfeited, and same thing applies. For the next hour that you schedule, it's going to be 50% off. If you have more questions about the session, please let me know. However, if you have questions about the game, please write them down and ask me during the coaching session. I do not do chat coaching. Some students are asking me 17 to 20 questions of how do they play ace king, what range should they use. All of that needs to be covered while we're in the session. I have 4 to 5 new students each month. Trust me, if all of them ask me 10 questions on Skype, I'm gonna have to hire an assistant to answer all of their questions on Skype all day long. So very important, please understand my point of view. I do not do chat coaching. Everything should be addressed during the session. Now, sometimes during the session you forget what you wanted to ask, and this is why I'm telling you, write it down. We're gonna address it before we even start, and then we're gonna continue with the sweat session or the hand review or whatever we're about to do. Now, what time do we work? We work in ET time, which is Eastern time, which is New York or Miami. This is where I live, and because I have students from all around the globe, and that's not something that I just say like that, I really have students from like pretty much every continent except Antarctica. This is why I decided instead of me working on their time, they're gonna work on my time. Because if I have a student today, one from France, one from Germany, one from Australia, and one from India, I don't know what's going on. And you have only one coach, which is me, and I have like 5 to 6 students, so it's easier to work in ET time. Please check it. If we're doing any type of review, like database review, that requires you to give me something, or we do a video review, which requires you to make a video and give it to me, please send it to RukovGrind@yahoo.com. You have my contact in the link description below as well. Do not send it to me 5 minutes before we start. If you want to squeeze the best out of this coaching session, you want your coach to be prepared for you, right? So make sure you send me that 1 day, 2 days, 3 days before the coaching session as fast as possible. I mean, as soon as you can send it to me so I can actually review it and be prepared for this coaching session. So with that said, that's all you need to know or to do for our first coaching session. Good luck on the table, guys, and I'll see you soon.